And so, yes, reopen the U.S. economy sooner rather than later. Go for it. Start talking about it more. Maybe 4 weeks is too long to wait. How about 2 weeks? How about we celebrate a post-Easter resurrection of the United States economy? What a concept. Joining me now from Dallas, Texas, financial expert, co-founder and chief strategist of GDP Advisors and Daily Ledger contributor, Seth Denson. Seth, every time I talk about it, on television or on social media, every time you hear Larry Kudlow come out and talk about it, every time we hear the White House, anybody positive starts talking about restarting the United States economy, we have these people in our society that come out and hammer and criticize us, saying that we're trying to kill people. But they have lost their entire sense of perspective here. What about the damage being done to human beings? These would be our fellow Americans because of the economy being shut down largely. What about their economic health? What about their physical health?
Yeah, we've talked about it a number of times, Graham, and at some point we certainly have to begin the process of understanding that there has to be balance here, because while this coronavirus is terrible and it's wreaking havoc in specific parts of our society and certain communities specifically, the havoc that will come out of this economic shutdown could be equally, if not worse. And so we have to strike a balance. We have to walk and chew gum a little bit here at the same time and start to figure out how to stimulate and manage our economic situation alongside our healthcare situation.
You have to ask the obvious rhetorical question: why are calls to the suicide hotline up all of a sudden? They are across the country, and it's because of this response, not because of the virus necessarily, but because of the government response to the virus. But I see a collision coming up here. There we have two trains, two engines on the same track, headed in a collision course here. And one is the White House and Larry Kudlow and the President of the United States, who are chomping at the bit to rationally reopen, if not all, parts of the United States economy. And then you have these blue state governors who are not going to relinquish control. You don't have that problem there in Texas, because you don't have a governor who's got his boot on the throat of the economy like they do in California and like they do in New York and like they do in Illinois. So you see what I'm saying? I think we're going to have a collision very soon here of the when and how we start getting back to normal.
Yeah, I think, listen, as a Texan, I'll say we're very fortunate to have Greg Abbott, who is listening to all sides of this and making intelligent decisions about what to do in rational, measured response. That said, again, this can't be an all or nothing, one side or the other conversation. And we can't leave it to the bureaucrats in Washington either. I mean, I've said it from the get-go. The stimulus, argue that it needed to happen or not, they got it out of order. When you're incentivizing employers to be terminating employees because the unemployment benefits are higher when they're not employed, we got the cart before the horse a bit in that model.
Yeah, and in the end, the private sector is going to fix this. The federal government, state governments are not going to. They're throwing gasoline on the fire right now. It's going to be the private sector that's going to fix this mess. Seth, thank you.